get your own and never forget it. Where you come from, yeah, yeah. Never forget. Never forget your roots. Green banana and the rose square fruit. When you eat a lobster and you're just in the fancy. Never forget it. Where you come from, yeah, yeah. Never forget. Never forget your friends. Those who wait till the end. Don't abandon them. Give them a helping hand.
WEFM, the new fresh sound. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we are back with you, and this time it's the Talk to Us segment. This is where you get interactive with us, or even more interactive with us, by calling the number 457-9997. This is the forum for you as listeners to talk to us about anything that we may have spoken about earlier this morning, or we spoke about earlier this morning, or anything that you just want to maybe get our opinions on. All right. So remember that in studio, it is Dianna, Cain, Nicole, Joseph Chin, and myself, Roleza Samuel. All right. So we are here with you this morning, and the phone lines are open for you to talk to us. All righty, so we have a caller. This looks like Mr. Mason. Good morning, Mr. Mason.
Welcome. Good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Yes, I can't allow the week to go by without you hearing my voice.
And all right. How are you?
Not bad at all, not too bad. Not bad.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I went down to the Leeward and the lovely chocolate breeze coming over and roll all beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, not too bad.
Good stuff.
And how are you anyway? How are you all?
We're okay.
Nice one, nice one. You know the old song, nice one, Cyril. Nice one, fun.
Oh,
I don't know that.
I don't know it either.
You're clearly too young, Mr. Mason.
All the best, and have a good day.
All right, to you too. Thank you.
Before I forget, let me say good morning to the kitchen at Clare Valley Government School. That's Miss Brown and Mrs. Richardson. The children call them kitchen.
All right. All right. So we see Joshua's there. Hi, Joshua. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mason. Good morning. I'm actually glad that you called because I got, just like minutes ago, I got someone from Nairobi mentioned you. She said that old guy has charisma. He could charm the tail off a zebra. I hope you're hearing this, Mr. Mason. So I asked, I like to play dumb, you know. Well, I'm kind of dumb. I said, well, why do you say that? She said, well, he comes on and he always compliments those ladies, but in a very respectable manner. But I must add that I was very disgusted this morning when I heard Mr. Roberts, the reference he made to kissing the radio hosts all over. She found that was in very bad taste. I don't know about you guys. Maybe that's acceptable in St. Vincent, but in the real world, it is not. And Mr. Mason, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. I want to be able to charm the tail off a zebra. That came all the way from Nairobi. And oh man, the Trinidadian host.
May I help you? May I help you this morning?
Yeah. Yes, it will come to me. It will come to me. It will. Well, she knows what her name is. You know, you made reference to courage. I read one of your posts where you made reference to a mouse. A man started out with a mouse, and now he's dead, of course. but he built the biggest, the world's largest empire, and it all started with a mouse. I don't know if I'm permitted to do this, so I'm not going to say it, but I really would like everybody. I don't know if you guys would permit the young lady to share her website, but you go in there and you find a wealth of information. And I love your post on the mouse, the man who started out with a mouse. It took a lot of courage to do that. So have a great day. And Mr. Mason, please give me a secret, man. I want to be like you.
You know what? Me leave Joshua alone. All right. Anything with regards to any of the callers? No?
No.
All right.
That is it there, yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's head into a topic. All right, I see Dave calling. Hi, Dave. Dave? Dave?
Hello?
Go right ahead, Dave.
Yes, I wanted to, we had on your program a while ago there. In terms of Alzheimer and dementia, what's the difference? What's the difference between Alzheimer and dementia? I sought to find that out already, but I can't recall what it is. But I just want to say this. Me, in my senior years, me at this age and stage of my life, I'm a person who does a lot of internal introspection about myself, because there are certain milestones in my life that I would have taken stock of, right? So, thank God I'm still alive, trying to maintain my faculties and so on. And once there is life, there'll always be something happening to you and even to others who you might know. And I think all of that helps to make up our story. But what I'm focusing on here, where when you start getting old, or you're, because you hear about some 37-year-old who suffered from whatever. And I think it's important to keep stock of yourself, right? And I find myself challenged since I've been growing and trying to keep abreast, trying to keep in touch with what goes on, because I follow a lot of things that are happening in the world today. Like I'm still thinking, which country has the best humanitarian program in place to deal with its people? Is it St. Vincent and the Grenadines having the best humanitarian program in place? What about TNT? There's something I love in TNT, and my friend, I hope she's listening there. When you reach 65 in TNT, you're entitled to some kind of fund. I forget how you call it. I think the total you receive is 3,300 and somebody. If I remember well. But I can easily contact one of my people in Trinidad and find out.
Dave,
you're correct.
Uh-huh. Hello?
Okay, Nicole is saying that you were correct.
Oh, all right. So I am saying, when I hear things like that, humanitarian program, every country with its population should be able to give something to its people.
All right, Dave, I have a
And
question for you though, as we are talking, and because you are older, when you got to, let's say, age 40, were you worried about getting older and all the things that it's going to bring with it? Were you concerned?
not at all.
No, you weren't?
Not at all.
Oh, wow.
Not at
Okay.
all. I guess because I tell you something, I've had a good time with women, right? And at age 40, it was like prime time for me. You know,
Dave, me ain't
it
talking about
was
that, you
like
know. Me
prime.
talking about just everything else with life. Just Alzheimer's, dementia, financial stability. Me ain't
No,
talking
no, no,
about...
no, no.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't thinking about that because um but as I get older, more mature, more knowledgeable, following all what is happening around the world, as they say, we are living in a global village. I'm living in a global village. I start taking stock of a lot of things because especially when you know some of your contemporaries and you hear how they die. Come on, you must. I think you should take stock of yourself, right? Especially those people who were in love. You have a young couple, for instance, and just suddenly, you know, with your partner, be it man or woman, your partner just pass away like that, and some of these strange circumstances that happen. But I believe that this kind of call it whatever dementia and Alzheimer's have to do a lot with your life that you live as well. Because take for instance, I know there are people who are abandoned, and for whatever, and they feel abandoned because something might have happened to them, and people just give up, or people just don't look out for them.
All
So
right.
all of
Okay.
that, I think, aggravates the situation. So
Okay.
big up to all those who care for people and care for me as well. Forget about the negative vibes you get from some others. I am positive about my life. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dave. All right. So as I threw the question to Dave, let me throw it to both Nicole and Dianna. Are you guys concerned about getting older?
Ladies first.
I love it. All right, since you're saying that, I know you're throwing that for the older lady here, right? So I'll tell you this. When I was a child, I loved gray hair. Gray hair used to fascinate me. And I had these beautiful aunties who had beautiful, totally gray hair. And I was aspiring to that since I was a little thing. So by the time I got older and I started to embrace my femininity and my womanhood, I decided this gray hair thing is a nice thing. And so I embraced it. My hairdresser didn't care, didn't like that I did, because of course it meant other things for her. And then I also embraced so many other things as I aged, my marks on my skin, my aging marks, my aging body, the cellulite, all the other things. And then of course my health. I'm very, very concerned about always being one step ahead with my health. And for me, aging, and we're going to talk about it one day, I think that's going to be the next topic. But for me, aging has been something I have embraced. I am concerned many times about isolation and loneliness only because I have no children of my own. But I'm an auntie to plenty, 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 plenty children. Plus, I'm a mentor to many. I'm a friend to many. So I don't feel like I will be abandoned, but I'm also not going to want to be a burden either. So my concern really is around the socialization. I must tell you, dementia is in my family. My paternal grandmother, she was one of 13 children. She didn't suffer dementia, but her siblings, one of them was full-blown dementia in her 40s. And this is like 30 something years ago. So I know that there is that propensity, for want of a better word, and that I'm not even going to go there, but awareness is important. But I have embraced aging. So, Diana, it's your turn. Ladies first.
I think that when I am exposed to certain information and when I read a little bit more, that is when I start getting concerned. But generally, I'm not. The one of the things I know for a fact that I think about is being in a state where persons have to take care of you. Like, I'm not sure I want to live to be that age where I have to depend on anybody. Because as Nicole said, I don't want to be a burden to anybody. And I think with knowing who I am, if I am still this person when I get older, I am going to be concerned about the person taking care of me. I'm going to be there thinking this whole time that I'm limiting them from doing what they want to do and that they have to dedicate so much of their time to me. I will probably just be feeling bad the entire time and wishing for death. Yeah.
So I guess it's thrown to me now.
Ladies first.
I know, right? I will be honest. I am a bit concerned about getting older, and I kind of went into a little panic. Well, it was an internal panic. It was just me alone when I saw my first gray hair. I saw my first gray hair maybe like 2 years ago. Interestingly, it was on the side here, and I ain't see it again, right? So I don't know where it gone to, but I haven't seen it again. And I think just seeing that one strand just made me have to accept that I am getting older. Mentally, I still think that I'm in my 20s, which is probably what the problem is. But they say that you are as old as you feel. And I know that when I turned 40, it felt like I was hitting such a significant milestone, right? Because you are leaving what youthfulness is, right?
Mhm.
Ask anybody who is 18 right now, 40 years old. Right? 40 is considered being old. And it really was difficult for me. And it's one of those things that you kind of have to have like these conversations with your friends, about getting older. But I think one of the pluses for many of my friends and I is that whatever age we are, we don't look the age. So I think maybe that is what works to our benefit. But I will be honest, I am concerned about getting older. And I often wonder if given the possibility of being young forever, if I would accept it. But I don't know, because I want to be here to be around to see, the changes in society. I want to be able to keep up with young people. And I think I kind of doing a good enough job, although my tolerance level is not the same as this. But, thanks to things like social media, you're able to keep abreast of what is happening. YouTube keeps me well informed of things that's happening, especially with artists and so forth, So having that facility, I really was concerned when I was in my teens about getting to the age of 40 and then talking about all these young people this and young people that, and pulling down young people. Like, I did not want to be one of those persons, right? I didn't want to be one of those persons who, having matured in a sense, looking back on everything that young people do and pulling them down and tearing them down, knowing that fully well at my age, we probably was doing the same stuff in this, just that it wasn't recorded, but I'll be very honest. I am concerned about being old. And I think part of it too has to do with my financial stability, because like Nicole, I don't have any children of my own. Well, that was a personal choice. But I also don't necessarily want to be a burden to my nieces. Right? It's really my nieces who I would end up being. I don't want to be a burden to my nieces, but I just kind of put things in place in a sort of way as best as I possibly can to be able to take care of myself. I don't mind being alone, because that's fine for me. I think having that social interaction that I can be in charge of. So like me on WhatsApp, like I will respond when I am ready to respond. But knowing that it allows for me to be able to communicate with persons helps a lot, so I don't have to physically pick up the phone or go visiting people anymore, but I am concerned. I am.
But I'll tell you this. One of the things that I enjoy is the company of older folks. And for some reason, my friends call me an old soul, So like one of my best buddies, I'll tell you all this. One of my besties is 88 years young.
Okay.
And let me tell you, you don't even remember their age, because of the things we do together, because of the crazy adventures we've been on. My other bestie turned 75 last November and had this amazing party. When she turned 60, she went to Dubai to skydive over the palms. So again, really, it's all in our minds. It's what we tell ourselves, right? And I have a lot of friendships at different stages and ages. So I have a best friend who's 5, by the way. He says to everybody, I'm his best friend. And then I have the buddies who are in their 70s, 60s, 80s. And for me, it's like you get such a broad spectrum of knowledge and hope and awareness that you really, really don't feel burdened or bugged by the fact that aging is happening in a way that's going to make you become totally useless. When my father, one of my father's cousins, he went and learned Spanish when he was already in his 70s because his son had married somebody from Honduras. And then when the internet started and the computer world started to emerge, he went and did a computer course. So the truth is, there's no limit, there's no boundary. And I want to say this. I pray every day because I do have longevity in my family. And in fact, my grandmother's sister was one of the oldest people alive in St. Vincent many years ago. So for me, I feel even if I live a long life, God's love and his promises, I will enjoy every second of it. I promise all you.
Good.
I'm going and make the best.
Yes.
I know they're coming with me.
Somebody here says, well, Joshua says he's seen it all done most and he loves his life in his old age. I know one of the things I also know is that I don't want to be an old grumpy person. I'm trying my best to I don't know what happens at that stage, but I know for a fact that when I get into my old age, I don't want to be that person who people just cannot stand to be around because you're so grumpy and you're arguing for everything and you're cussing I do not want to be that person.
All right. I just want to big up, as you spoke about older ladies. So I just want to big up the ladies at the Anglican car park who are there on Tuesdays and Fridays. But I normally get my lunch. They were one of my lunches from there on a Friday. And I always like the fact that they're older women. So sometimes, like when I go there, I would sit and listen to their conversations. Like last Friday, past the conversation, they were talking about stuff that they cooked long ago. And one of them talked about rice and green banana, something to that effect. And one was rice and steamed fish on the top. So, it's like stuff that I've never had. So it's always interesting. Like when you hear, when I sit or I speak with them or I listen to their conversations, it's just interesting to hear from them. And there are some older women. So just good morning to all the ladies at the Anglican car park who are there on Tuesdays and Fridays. I have your names written down. I can't remember everybody's name, but I ain't going to start calling now either, right? And I think one of the good things about getting older too, because I started to experience it as well, is that you get to a point where you just don't care about what people have to say anymore either, right? You talk your mind, you just don't care anymore. So that is also one of the benefits. As much as I'm concerned about getting older, yes, I like being this age. I just don't care anymore.
Not just talking your mind, but just doing what you want, like, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like people were like, you cut off all your hair, because I used to have long hair. Yeah, I cut it off because you know what, it's about time. I should have done it long time ago. And things like that, you go out and you feel like I'm comfortable like this. I wear a boo-boo, I have on a big dress and the dragon on the ground. It's my dress. I'm comfortable.
Yes. All right. With that, we are
just
headed.
Final point. Somebody here says they never thought about getting old until they left 50.
That started late for you. All right.
And this other person says my auntie is 96 and she's a lot more active than me. She's in Italy right now because she saw a new report about a nice beach.
Go, auntie, go. All right, we headed on out.